good to see you, man. I've been keeping up. It's a lot of great things going on.
Hey, man, life is good. Business is even better, man.
Yeah.
Pandemic
So,
has been great to me.
wow. No, I think that it's even to me, like, it's so many things I've been able to do. Like, because when you're working a 9 to 5 grind, it's like you put a lot of things off, but now it just really gave me the time to take a step back and
So,
just reflect on a lot of things and get a lot of projects going. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who's checking in right now. I really appreciate each and every one of you. We took a break, but we're back now, and we're so excited to have Quick on the show with us. For a lot of you guys that don't know, a lot of you know Quick as a DJ, but one of the reasons I wanted to have him on the show is because he is more than just a DJ. You understand? He's a businessman. He's a brand himself, and most importantly, he is a father and a husband. He's a family man, and he really embodies all of what the show is about. So, Quick, I want you to really, I know that you started off DJing, but if you could just, because I always wonder, like, is that something that you always wanted to do as a kid growing up? You know how kids were like, I want to be this when was that it for you to be a DJ?
absolutely not. I want to be a football player.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be a professional football player. My dream was to be the next Ronnie Lott meets Bo Jackson. That was my dream, but that came short in years ago.
So you actually played for a little bit.
I played for years. I was actually good. I'm in my office now. It's outside. I got my one of my jerseys framed. Like, I was actually a beast.
Wow.
I was serious on the football field, man. I got some of my old trophies. Let me see if I see.
Yeah.
I got some of my old trophies on my desk still. I still keep them.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got hundreds of them. Literally hundreds of trophies. And I was a beast in low league football, but it came short end, man.
So what happened? Like, was that you made a decision to not move forward with it, or you got injured? Like, what was the?
Well, I got injured, but not in football. In life, I got shot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know my story. I'm actually in the process right now of filming a docuseries,
Yeah.
QuickSilva.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this documentary is really to tell people, you all know the radio and TV and accolades and all that. But a lot of people don't know anything about me, like nothing. They know nothing besides I know he DJs, and like they don't know. I got shot when I was 13.
Yeah.
I was on bed rest paralyzed for almost 8-9 months.
Wow.
That ended my football career. And from then on, prayerfully, I always say DJing saved my life, because mentally and physically, I realized that my football dream as a kid was over fast. And I needed something to mentally keep me focused, and something that I know I could use as a passion to potentially become a lifestyle, and I'm glad it did.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So how did you get started? Like, take us back to this early years of you DJing. Like, what was the beginning for you?
Yeah, I think I've been DJing now for a zillion years.
Yeah.
But I was a young kid. I got my first turntables when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Christmas, and I've been DJing literally every day of my life since.
Wow, that's amazing. Now you talk about you've been in the game for a long time. If you can say something to someone who's coming up right now, whether as a DJ or on-air personality, whatever it is, as far as longevity, as far as adapting, because the business has changed so much since you've been in it. What are some of the things you can say to continue to thrive in the game for someone who's coming up, someone who wants to be in the game for as long as you've been?
Well, first is my 3 principles: hard work, dedication, and consistency. It sounds so easy and simple, but 99.9% of people aren't all 3. Some are consistent, but they're not hardworking. Some are hardworking, but they have no dedication, and vice versa. So you put all 3 together, it's a proven formula, but you have to do all 3 all the time. You can't be a person that's lazy. If you have a lazy bone in your body, this business is not for you. If you're not consistent and change with the times and learn with the times, this business is not for you. If you're know it all and I'm great and I did this one thing one time and I'm better than everybody else, this business is not for you. This business will humble you fast. If you thought you were hot, you'll be done in a year. Most people in radio and TV and DJing or on hosts, whatever you want, everything, Get a 3 to 5 year run. If you get 8 years, if you make it a 10, they call you legendary. I'm on year 26. So it's not that I'm still here. I'm still relevant and at the top.
Right.
A lot of people who have been around longer than me, they still, do things I do, but they're nowhere near as relevant for all practice from 8 to 80. That's a testimony of my hard work, dedication, and consistency. That's a testimony of me being able to market myself, change and realize still be coachable. Even after all these years of my success, I'm still coachable. I still keep a team of people around me that advise me. And you have to have people around you that call you coach and let you know when something's not right or when you're doing something wrong. A lot of people get to my level of success and they hang around nothing but yes men. I'm not that person. I love people around me who challenge me. But when you challenge me, just realize I'm going to challenge you back. Yeah. And that makes for a healthy relationship in life and in business.
That's amazing. And the other thing I see that you're doing now, because it's one thing to go high, it's one thing to climb high, it's one to be successful. But a lot of people don't remember to look back and give back. But that's something I see that you're doing, even with your talk to us about your DJ school. You're teaching now the next generation of people. You're training them. Talk to us about that.
It's called Quick and Easy DJs. We've been open now a little over a year. And one thing I love about my DJ school, shout out to my partner, DJ Be Easy. I believe for all ages. Our youngest student to graduate was 10. The oldest was 67. And we really teach the fundamentals of DJing. What I realized over the years, the fundamentals of DJing have kind of gotten lost. Yeah. Really about just pressing buttons and screaming on the mic. Most DJs, a lot of them don't have skills. They can't count bars. They don't know where the hook and the bridge is. They don't know how to do a smooth transition. That's something that we teach at my DJ school. We don't work for anybody. This is our school. We actually have our own facility. When you join the school, we provide everything from laptops to computers to controller to headphones to speakers. We provide everything. And you take the class once a week for 5 weeks, and in 5 weeks you graduate as a DJ. A beginner course, an intermediate course for guys and ladies who are already DJ, but they just need to kind of brushing up on their skill set. It's been amazing, man. The response of it, every single class I've done in the last year and a half, even during the pandemic, is sold out. Every single one. We've never had a class that didn't sell out. But that's a lot of people are really interested in learning not just DJing as a craft, but it's a lifestyle. I tell people, I had no idea I could live this life I live now. As just a DJ, businessman now, but everything that I've done in my life, it came from somebody that I met along the way as a DJ, and then That's
amazing. It's funny you bring that point up, because I was gonna touch on that too, because not only are you a DJ, you're also a businessman. You own several businesses, and you're a brand yourself. And I wanted you to talk to us about, how do we go from starting out doing one thing to now this process of diversification, where you're now doing multiple things? Because a lot of people say, well, don't chase so many things at the same time, just focus on one. What was your path? How did you go about it?
So whoever says that they're right, I think what happens is you have people, especially in this social media era, everybody wants to wake up and just post, I'm a boss and I'm a CEO. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good on Instagram. It gets you likes. Boss until it's time to pay the bills, until it's time to pay the taxes, until it's time to hire and fire staff. Everybody wants to scream, boss, boss. Bills come, I don't want to be the boss anymore. I want to go back to the employee getting up. So being the boss, being your own boss as an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, it's not easy. But you have to make yourself the best at one thing at a time. So I've done a lot of people, they have this vision of starting these businesses, and they want to have 10 businesses that they start at one time. 8 to 9 of them are going to fail. Because you're all into it. So what I've done over my life is that I've always started one thing, and I focus and I get tunnel vision on one thing. And one thing gets to a level where I can now have employees and people running it for me, then I move on to the next thing. But I never move on to the next thing until that one thing is working. Because I'm putting all of my energy into try to make something work when I have 5 other things that's starting from the ground up. So now what works for me might not work for everybody. But speaking in my experience, at this point, people call me a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Businesses that I'm a part of, that I either own or I'm a partner with.
Yeah.
But everyone has a strong team. And I think
Yeah.
that's important. You can't do everything yourself. I don't care
Yeah.
how good you think you are, how talented you think you are, or how good your product is. You cannot do it all by yourself. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
You have to have yourself a strong team and make sure that there's somebody on your team that's smarter than you.
Yeah.
Because if you're the smartest person on your team or the smartest person in your circle, who are you going to have answers when you don't know something?
Yeah.
That's so important. A lot of people with egos, the egos get in the way, and you don't want somebody that can call you out.
Absolutely.
That's my philosophy.
Absolutely. No, that's good. That's good. And speaking of being a certain entrepreneur, like, I want to say congrats. You just had a new deal. Talk about the new wrestling deal that you guys just had that just came through. That's amazing.
Well, it's not a deal. This is something that we bought and we own now.
Right, right.
On the casino in Rural, the casino birthday is actually today. But a lot of people don't realize wrestling is a big business. It's a $1 billion, not million. It's a $1 billion business. So look at WWE and WCW, all these things we grew up on. We all always say we support and make everybody else millionaires and billionaires, but we're afraid to do it ourselves. We love the comfortable factor. If you can make 6 figures a year in your mind, I'm comfortable. For me, I don't care if I make 8 figures a year. I want 10. When I get, which I will, I want 20.
Right.
That's how I operate. So C3W is the name of our wrestling league. It's a professional league. We actually have a lot of professional wrestlers who were on WWF and WCW and WWE that you see on TV. So we started our own wrestling league. We have our first fight coming up in a little close to a month. And how we're doing ours is that with the same way that you watch wrestling. I mean, it's 100% professional. This is not.
That's dope.
We're not cutting any corners.
That's dope.
We're putting real money behind this. I mean, millions. I mean, this is like a big business deal.
Yeah.
And we're going to do these wrestling matches the same way you see them. We already have a couple of networks that are interested. But we're going to go city to city. That's one good thing about my radio show being syndicated. So pretty much every show we're in, we're going to make sure we're going city to city, and we're actually making sure we put a wrestling match in that city. So this is going to be big, man. This is going to be.
That's amazing, and it's something you touched on.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have. We're 100% black-owned wrestling league. 100% professional black-owned. All of our wrestlers are being paid. Like this is real, and I hate to keep sounding like a broken record. I want people to understand, like, this is equivalent to how when WCW or whatever you watch on TV, they started. We started. And we're starting kind of with an edge up in front of them because we already have professional wrestlers with names that put the bill out. It's going to sell out in these certain cities.
That's amazing.
I'm excited, but I think for me, I'm more excited not just because financially this is going to be amazing. I'm about jobs. Most times when I open up businesses, it's really not about me. I mean, do I like making money? Yes, but I love helping other people make money. So I love that I'm in a position where we can hire people.
Yeah, and I wish that people had more of that mentality, because 2 things you touched on I think is very key. Number 1 is excellence. Like, like, it's black owned, but it's the excellence is not cut short. Like, you're not cutting corners or anything like that. That's very important. And then number 2, even the whole mentality of helping other people make money, because I realize long as you have that mindset, you can never lose. Like, if you're going out to help people, there's no way that's not. It's like a gift that keeps giving, and I just hope that a lot of people understand that it's not just about me being successful, but paving the way for other people to be successful as well. And I think that's really key.
I think most people don't get that. Most people are selfishly in their own way, and their whole goal is to make money for themselves. And like you say, when you help someone else make money, it makes you money in return. But I'm a firm believer. To whom much is given, much is required. So you got to really put the work in and make sure that you have the right people on your team. It's not just about building a team. A lot of times we build a team with our family and friends, not knowing that our family and friends a lot of times aren't our target audience. Really go out and make sure you do your research on who your target audience is and put people in that fit that target audience. A lot of businesses fail because you have people a part of the business who don't know anything about the business. I feel this obligation, like I have this when I opened up my nightclub, for instance, a
Yeah.
lot of the same thing, and it's like I got to put my cousin as the bartender and my sister as the doorman, and no,
Yeah.
like, make sure you hiring qualified people who want to work.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't want to work. Everybody wants the glitz and the glam and the social media posts, but they don't actually want to work and put in the work. I love to say in real life. So make sure you're hiring the right people.
Yeah. You know, there's something that's so amazing about you. And you were saying early on, like a lot of people don't know your story. They just know like the professional side of it. But I've had an opportunity of, you know, working with you closely. And I remember one time we were doing it was a certain content I was working on, and it was called Motivational Moments. And I thought about you being a part of it. And that was where actually you talked a lot about your personal life and struggles and challenges and how you overcame, you know, being shot at such a young age, you know, losing your mom, because I lost my dad, you know, back in 2014, but you lost family when you were much younger, even younger than I was.
I met my dad.
Yeah, and I've always wondered, because I was like, anytime I get a chance to talk to you, I always want to ask you, like, how were you able to overcome all of that? Like, to someone who may be going through something similar or worse, what would you say? Because it's always amazing to me, like being able to come out of that, bounce back, you know, on a very large way, you know, from something like that.
Losing anybody is not easy, and we all deal with death differently. I lost my mom when I was 10. I lost my dad when I was 18, graduating high school. I've literally been on my own ever since. Like, I haven't had anybody to, like, I got my first apartment at 18. But I think for me, I've always just had this hustle in me. I mean, the hustle is something you can't teach. The hustle is something you can't buy. Either you have it or you don't. It's like the it factor. I don't care how cool you are or how much money you have. If you don't have the it factor, you just don't have it. Right. It's the same thing with the hustle for me. So even when I lost my mom at a young age, I started DJing the same year my mom passed away. And my dad was always like my biggest supporter and motivator. So when he passed away when I was 18, I felt like I had this point to prove, because so many people in my life when I was, you got to think, I've been in nightclubs since I was 14 years old. So I've been literally DJing in clubs every week, 5-6 nights a week since 14 till now. Like, so a lot of my family when I first started at a young age, you know, they gave my father hell because, like, you know, you got this 14-year-old kid in nightclubs. That's just being a bad parent, and it's not, you know. And as a dad now, I get how it looked. My son is 13, 14 now, and I couldn't imagine putting my son at some nightclub. I understand why they felt that way. However, he never got a chance to see this national and global QuickSilva that he believed that one day become. And I think that was always my thing, is like, I gotta win now because I can't let my mom and my dad down. It's weird. It's weird for me. But I work better when I have like odds against me. I love what I do first and foremost, but I love proving people wrong. Yeah, like a passion of mine. If you tell me
I'm the same way too. Yeah,
I can't do something, I'll bet you $1 million that I can do it, and I'm gonna do it better than you. Yeah, that's just that's how I operate. I love when people don't believe in me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to embarrass them when I come back a year from now, and they're gonna, how'd you do it? I don't know how to quit. Right. My son has this quote where he says, you know, people always say Albert Einstein is the smartest guy who ever, you know, lived the earth. And what he said was, it's not that I'm smarter than everybody else. It's that I stick with problems longer than everybody else. I think that goes over most people's heads, because what he means by that is I don't know how to lose. So a lot of people, we become frustrated the second something doesn't go our way. We put out into something and all of our money and time, and it doesn't work, we quit. We say it's not for me, and we are frustrated. It's a proven fact that most frustrated people quit. I don't know. In life, you win or you learn. So me, I've took a lot of lessons in my life, but I never gave up. I never gave up. I always go on. And I think that's what Albert Einstein was trying to say, is that I might look like I'm smarter than you. It's simply because a problem that you tried to fix in 1 year, you gave up after a year because you felt like it's not fixable. I spent 50 years on that same thing, and I figured it out. So when I figured it out on year 50, the person who came around a year ago on my 40th year, to them, it looked like I solved that problem in a year. You get what I mean? Right. Yeah. 50 years to get
They didn't see the work that went in. Right.
Hart has the best quote. He says it takes 18 to 20 years to become an overnight success. You have some people right now that just heard of QuickSilva in the last year or two when my show went syndicated, not knowing I've been DJing for 30 years.
Right.
That goes to show you, even I'm in my office with more accolades than I can count, but there's still certain people who don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And that's why I still work. I still have not a point to prove, but I still work because I never get to a point where I feel like I'm better than anything or I'm above anything or above. I just love working and helping other people. I think
absolutely.
when you have that passion in your life, it's almost impossible to lose.
That's amazing.
Less than highly favored.
Yeah, that's good. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. Like, I feel like you got to keep having that mentality of I'm not there yet. You're never there. Like, you keep pushing, you keep going.
Let me tell you what's crazy to me. It's crazy that when I like travel, I travel a lot now. So if you,
of course, you're international. I saw the post. I said, he's going to Kenya. He's going he's all over the place. So, you know,
it was weird for me. Like a lot of times when I'm traveling abroad, like to different countries, I'm DJing in these big festivals. It still bugs me out that people know who I am.
Wow.
Like, I'd be like, how do y'all know me? Like, they in Brazil, you name it, Jamaica. I mean, every hour, like Germany.
Yeah.
I've DJed everywhere. I've DJed in every U.S. city. Like I've DJed everywhere, literally everywhere. And when I travel and I go to a city or a different country and I get off the plane, and it's like, you know, these signs, welcome QuickSilva from the United States here.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like
it must be surreal. Like, what?
I'm bugging. Like,
right.
I'm just regular Quick from East Baltimore. Like, I need all this.
Yeah.
But to them, I'm this celebrity DJ. It's weird to me. So, like, I still get bugged out sometimes because I'm like, I don't look at myself like a lot of people look at me. I mean, yes, I know the accolades and awards, and I've won everything you can win. But I don't win and bask in my wins. A lot of people I see, they win one time and they just gloat about it forever. I've won East Coast DJ of the Year. I have 2 Global Spin Awards. I've been in Source Magazine, Power 30, 10 times in a year.
And for people, not to cut you off, but for people who don't know, the Global Spin, that's like the Grammy of DJ.
Oh, that's the Global Spin, Grammys and the Oscars of DJing.
Yeah.
I'm the only DJ from this whole region who's even been nominated. I've won twice. There's nobody from DC, Baltimore, Virginia, like nobody from this region has even been nominated.
Yeah.
I've won twice. So I've been nominated.
That's amazing.
I've won 2 of them.
Yeah.
Coast #1 DJ at the Mix Show Power Summit back in 06. Source Magazine does the Power 30 every year. The most powerful 30 DJs in the country. I've been top 10 years. But I say all this to say, I mean, and then locally, I won everything. I won, you know,
it's
for 20 years.
Know, everywhere. Yeah.
So, I'm saying this not as a boast or brag. I'm saying this to show people that with all I've accomplished in my life, I still work like I'm an up-and-coming DJ. I still out a lot of people who not even close to my level. It bugs me out when someone gets hot for a year or two and then they compare themselves to me. I'm like, you
got to put in time. You just got here.
30 years, like nowhere. It's almost like little baby comparing himself to Jay-Z. Like I get you're hot right now. I get fire. I get it. Right.
Yeah.
I've been.
Talk to me 20 years. Talk to me 30 years.
Like, talk to me once you've been relevant for 20 years.
Right.
Sit down and have a conversation. Right. If you've been hot, you're a 5. Like you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
With this generation, a lot of us, we become so full of ourselves the first time it happens. We check one time, and our egos are through the roof. I'm like, the goal is consistency. I think that's what people.
Consistency.
Consistency. It's not to be hot once. It's to be hot over and over to a point. It's almost like with LeBron James or rest in peace Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
They get to a point where they've been winning for so long. People just start not liking them simply because not because they've done anything to you personally, anything. It's just that you sick of seeing them winning. It's like I want somebody else win. Like,
It's like
it's like if you put in the chat, your QuickSilva, like, oh God, what are we celebrating Quick for today? What has he bought today? People are never.
Hey, hey, but whole time you just sharing your success to inspire somebody, right? You just being you.
My life is different for your life, but
Right.
my life is tailor-made. But that really happens. A lot of people get to a point where you've been winning so long, you start creating enemies and haters and doubters and naysayers because not because you've done anything to them personally. It's simply because they're sick of seeing you winning.
Yeah.
And they feel like as long as you're at the top, you're not giving anybody else a chance to become the king or the queen.
Yeah.
That's just not my mentality. Like, I'm not in competition with anybody.
But I think that's crazy though, because even to your point, when even thinking about people like Jay, like it's okay, you can say, yeah, he's been at the top, but just like you and like a lot of other people who've been successful, you're not there by yourself. You're paving the way, you're creating opportunities for other people. Jay, where would Brianna be if it wasn't for Jay or J. Cole and all of those people? Like, so I don't understand the hate. I don't get it.
I would never do it, but if I can tell you all the people that I've literally say you're where you are because I put you in position,
right?
We'll be on here for another 20 hours.
Absolutely.
But I don't do it for that reason. I never put my position or help somebody out just to say I did that.
Right.
Because I see something in you, and when you win, I always say it's not that I made you win. I just put you in a position, and you scored the touchdown yourself.
Yeah.
I played through the ball, you caught it and ran it and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've done for so long, for so many people.
Yeah, and I hope that everyone listening and watching tonight take that, because that continue to be consistent and be humble is so hard for a lot of people, like, because accolades get to our heads so fast and people start to slip.
It's not even now. Social media gets to our heads. We get to a point where we get a certain amount of followers and we post about it. Big day, I just got 1,000. Like, come on, like,
hey, you know what's funny to me? It's funny you say that, because I was thinking to myself, I said, wait a minute. It's amazing how social media has given us a false sense of reality.
It's horrible.
Just because you have 50,000 followers on Instagram, it don't mean anybody know you. Like, you can.
That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other.
You know, but of all the things that you've done, of all the things that you've accomplished, one of the things that I admire so much about you, and I think that it stands out, you know, in your life, is really just your attention to family. Like, every time I talk to you, it's like, you know, all of these other things are great, but not as important as me being a dad, me being a husband. And I wanted to ask you, why is that important to you? Like, for some people, they will say, you know what, I'm successful, I have all of these things, that's all that matters. But you're saying, listen, all of this is nothing if you don't have family. And I want you to speak to how important family is for the Black community.
Well, first, let me say shout out to my wife, Ashley. We just celebrated 12 years of marriage yesterday.
Congrats. I saw that, yeah.
Anniversary. I've known her for 20 years, but we've been married for 12. I'm as a first. But for me, family is beyond a lot. It's everything. I think one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about my family is because I grew up without a mom or dad. Without a mom or dad. And I remember saying to myself, once I become an adult, I can't wait to have a family of my own, so I can create that household environment that I believe a lot of the Black households lack at this point in their life. But for me, I think it's more important, because why I put family before everything is because I know how fast all this can be gone. How fast the money, the glam, and the glitz and all that can be gone, but family is forever. You have your family, and I think on top of that, not just family being forever, you have a purpose that's bigger than yourself. I don't work for my first name anymore. I work for my last name. One point it was all about quick, but now Silva legacy. But
that's a major key. That's a major key right there. Yeah.
But my son and my daughter, about me creating a generational wealth that I've never knew existed in my life. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I grew up in East Baltimore, and 18 lost everything. Mom, dad, been shot, been in the street. I mean, everything. I've lost everything by the age of 18. Now, this life that I have now, I really didn't think exists, but it moved. And that's my goal right now, is to show people that you can be successful. and still be a family man. Is it easy? No.
Yeah.
There are moments in my life where I miss things in my life because the business, a lot of times, is there first. Yes. Here's the bad part about this business and being a family man is that the business does not care.
Mm.
It's really bad, but nobody in this business cares about anything that you're going through in your life. When the lights come on, when the
Yeah.
mic, you have to perform.
Yeah.
You can't be having a bad day and going through something with your wife or your husband, your kids, and then you don't have. Then you show up to a show and you stink it up and be like, I apologize, guys, I stink because I'm going. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow. So a lot of times it looks like you're forced to put the business before your family because the business doesn't care that it's your daughter's day. Quick, you got a gig in LA, you got to go show up. So that's how this business treats. But it's up to us to put our family first in moments that we can.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really wonderful. And you know, you've touched on so many things tonight, and I just really wanted to say that it's been a pleasure, you know, to have you on the show. But I wanted to ask you this because I know that I got a even on that topic, like because of all the accomplishments, everything you've done, and having such a busy schedule, how do you strike a balance? How do you make sure that nothing slips through the crack? Because I think that that's hard for a lot of people to do. You know, like so many people can't keep up with everything. So like, and even making sure that making time for the family and all of those things. Like I want you to tips that you've implemented in your own life that's helped you in having that balance.
What I will say is that everybody is different and every situation is different. So anything that I speak about, I'm speaking from my experience, and what works for me might not work for you or anybody else's life. But the first thing is you have to have a team. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You cannot do everything yourself. I have a team of people that work with me and for me every single day, like literally daily. And I check my calendar, I check my schedule, I talk to my management, I talk to my road manager, I talk to my producer, I talk to my lawyer, I talk to my accountant.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I talk to my staff at this venue, I talk to my staff at this venue, I talk to the manager here. Like every day I wake up and I have conversations, FaceTimes, texts every day to make sure that everything is in place. And then my day doesn't get about myself until I make sure everything else is already in place. Then I look at my schedule for the day and for the week. And that's one thing that I'm passionate about. I say you have to plan your work. If you plan, you're planning to fail.
Yeah.
If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. A lot of people don't plan anything out. We just literally wake up every day and go to work and we're going to figure it out when we get to it. I plan out my day every day. Now, some people say that's not living quick, but for me, it works.
Yeah.
I love to know exactly what I have to do every day. And then when I feel times I'm getting burnt out, I take days off. I'm in a position that I don't work for anybody. I work for myself, but I work with a lot of people.
Right.
Who you ask? I'm like, I thought you worked there. I'm like, I'm really my own boss. I do things on my own terms. For a lot of people, they don't like that because you can't control. I'm uncontrollable because I literally have 20 sources of income. One thing is in a way, or I can walk away from anything at any given time.
Right.
So with that being said, is that with all these things that I have going on daily, I make sure I keep the right people around me. I think that's the most important thing. A lot of people getting a lot of bullshit not because of something they did, but something around them did, and then you blame because you're the face of it. You got to make sure that when you're the face of something, you know who's around you, because when things go wrong, people love to point the finger and say he's the bad guy or she's the bad guy. When they tell the whole story. So that's I think that I learned from that over the years, just making sure that I keep the right people around me, and I make the right decisions. But most importantly, I will say it's not easy. I might make it look easy on the gram. I go through a lot of times where I'm stressed out. It takes a toll on your body physically and mentally. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. But if you believe in it enough, it's achievable. Really got to put those principles in. You got to be dedicated, consistent. You got to be a hard worker. And you got to learn to hustle, man. I'm a hustler by nature. I love making money. I love making other people rich. I love get a high off
Yeah.
of somebody that's involved, and I see them win.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Because for me, I always say, it's never me.
Right.
When you have people around you, sometimes you're going to win and I'm not. But guess what? I'm going to celebrate you because you won. Sometimes I'm going to win and you're not. And hoping you celebrate me on the times that I'm winning. But anytime, whether you're winning or I'm winning, it's always we.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, you know, I feel like there's this. The other day I was talking to a few people, and we were talking about this, and I want to ask you your opinion on this too. Like, what do you think about this whole crab in a barrel mentality that I feel like is in the DMV, where it's like we're so afraid? What do you think about that? Yeah, go ahead.
It's bullshit. That's the first thing I will say. People say that when they don't get the support they think they should be getting. About that is that if you make yourself the best version of yourself, people have no choice but to respect you. They might not like everything about you, but they respect you. A lot of us come out and we do things and we expect everybody to love us and support us off the break because we think we're good at it. I'm good, better than him. And we have this I'm better than her attitude. And if you don't get the support, oh my God, crabs in the barrel. No, maybe you haven't worked hard enough long enough. You have to get to a point where you make yourself undeniable. You think everybody loved QuickSilva all these years? It's been tons of years when I've been battling this, but I just kept working, and they got to a point where like I can't deny this guy. This guy just he won't go away. Like this guy, and every time I don't go away, he comes back bigger and better. Like it gets to a point where now you're undeniable.
Yeah,
you have favor on you that's bigger than anybody else that can wish any harm or hurt or think like so. A lot of us, when I hear people saying Baltimore, DC, they don't support me, like, that's bull. They've been supporting me for years, but they support me because I do so many other things. I don't just come out with something and expect people to like it. And it's really the artist mentality. You check it out, and if nobody likes your record, oh my God, y'all hating on me, it's the crabs in the barrel. Maybe that's just not.
Yeah.
That's what it is. With me, what I will say is that I've never heard a person say like, maybe my record's not good. It's automatically, oh, y'all don't support me. Like I've had, as a veteran in the game, I've had some really, really great nights. I shut the club down.
Yeah.
I've had some nights in the club where I wasn't so good. I was tired. I just got. I've had some really, really humongous shows on the radio. I've had some radio where they weren't that good.
Yeah.
I'm honest with myself, but overall, I'm 95% where I'm normally at the top of my game every time. Most artists, they can't admit that 5 or 10% where your record isn't good. It's like the record I make is a hit, and if you don't play it quick, you're a hater and you're not supporting. No, like that's just not the record. Like, or that's not the once again, this is what I will say. I said this earlier, if anybody missed this. Your target audience is not your friends and family a lot of times. A lot of times we about things and we expect our friends and family just to love it. And if they don't, now they hate. A lot of times, I'll give you an example. Since we live in the social media era and everybody just so, dressed about numbers and social media, a person will post something, right? You'll get 50 likes. Let's just say right now you got 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And you post something and you get 50 likes.
Yeah.
I'm the person that's going to focus on those 50 people.
Yeah.
I know for a fact those 50 people, they might not be my friends, family, people I don't even know. But I know those 50 people, they like whatever it is I promote. I don't know what it is. Whatever I promote, those 50 people like. Yeah. Most people are going to focus on the 9,000.
Whatever. Yeah.
But 9,900.
Yeah.
So most people are going to focus and say, why aren't these 9,950 people liking it? And why are they're hating? They're crabs in the barrel. No, man. This is just not for them.
Right.
Everything is not for everybody. As much as people love QuickSilva, there's somebody who does not like me. I'm okay with that. A lot of people, they're not okay with that. They spend all their time trying to get the people who don't like them to like them.
Yeah.
Try to get the people who don't support us to support us. I might be your favorite DJ, but I'm a lot of other people's favorite DJ. Favorite radio personality, but I've had accolades to say I'm one of the best at what I do. But I might not be for you. What happens is a lot of people, when you realize that you're not for somebody, you get in your feelings. You get in your feelings, and now you want to make that person like you, or make that, you want to one-up them because I want to show them that I'm good. No, focus on the 50 people and not the 950 who didn't like it. And I think that's a mentality that a lot of people just don't have. And until they get that mentality, they're going to always think that people are hating on them. People are not supporting them. Whereas now, embrace your lane. I have a lane that I'm in right now that's my own. That means I do what I want with no speed limit and no traffic. And I think that's what people forget. Make yourself the best version of yourself. And at that moment, people will pay you just to be you.
Absolutely. I got 2 more questions before I let you go. Every time I have someone just as yourself, even when I have J1 in the show as well, one of the things I always ask is for you to speak to the younger generation coming up as far as how to make it in the business, period. Like, you know, say someone's asking, well, Quick, how do I get my songs played? How do I pop? I'm an artist just coming up. What would you say for me to do to just, you know, even in this current state and everything, being that you've been in the game and you've seen how much it's changed, what would you say to someone in that position?
First and foremost, make yourself the best version of yourself. So I'll come back to that in a second. What I will say is that I think a lot of y'all forget that you have to put in the work. Like, there's no substitute for hard work. I don't care how good your talent is. And you have to learn the business. The music business is 10% music, 90% business. Most people don't know anything about the 90. All they know is that I'm good and my music is good and I'm good and I don't understand why nobody's supporting me. So learn the music business. Learn, if you're an artist, learn who the PD is and the MD is and when the mix show meetings are and who's the mix show coordinator. Make sure that your song is registered to BDS and SoundCloud and MediaBase at the same time. Like, learn all this before you just say, I got a record I made yesterday in my studio, quick, put it on the radio. And what people realize is that you're not battling the next local singer or rapper. You're battling for spots. You're battling against Rihanna. So radio, we have a certain amount of slots that we can, like, it's not like you can play whatever you want when you want. You have like 5 slots here and 5 slots there. And those 5 slots are taken up by who have Lil Baby, Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi. And now you come saying, Quick, put my record on. You have to realize your record has to be just as good, if not better than all of theirs. Because now when I play yours, I'm now telling the person, I'm not going to play your favorite, whoever, Rihanna record right now.
Artist,
MC Lysious. Like, and now you have to make sure you build a following that's big enough that when I do play that, you get the support that you think you have. I've seen so many people over the years get so humbled in the club where they come to me and saying, Quick, my record fire. I'm telling you, fire. I joined fire. in the street. I'm like, cool. And I mean, I've broken so many artists over the years in the club, and I'll play that record in the club, and everybody will stop dancing, and they'll give me a look like, what the fuck is it? And then they hating on me. They're not.
It ain't that good. It's not that good.
Favorite Lil Baby record, and then I stopped it to play your record.
Right.
This is back to why I say have a team.
Right.
Formula and that I've seen with artists. If you come to the club deep and you get a VIP table and y'all are popping bottles, and now I play your record and your table goes crazy, it makes people now want to hear your record more. Because now, back to what I'm saying, have a team. You can't be the guy in the club or girl in the club by yourself saying, play my record, and I play it, and it's just you in there. You have to your supporters in there. I mean, I said this years ago. I said, here's an easy formula where artists just don't follow. You want your record broken in the club, you have to actually be in the club. A lot of artists, like, I don't like the clubs. Well, your record's not going to get broken in the clubs because your record played.
Right.
But if you take yourself back to the hard work, dedication, and consistency, if there's an artist listening right now, you got a dope record, and the club's about to be open, if you give yourself 2 months, 5 days a week, going to all the hottest parties, 5 days a week, with 15 to 20 people, and these are your friends, your family, whoever it is, right? And now you build a relationship with the DJ, because one thing, you can't walk in the club, hey DJ, play my record. I don't even know who you are. First, man to man, we on man time. Speak to me first, and I'm still me.
You're right, absolutely.
So a lot of people, they don't take the time to build a relationship with the DJs. They just walk in the club, play my record, and I don't even know you. So if you build a relationship with the DJ, and now they know who you are, and now y'all have a rapport where y'all speak when y'all see each other, and now you tell him or her, yo, I got this plan. For the next 2 months, I'm gonna come to all your parties every night, and you play my record, I'm gonna pop a bottle, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna have 20 people around me celebrate me, making me look bigger than life. If you do that every day for 2 months, by month 3, you have the biggest record in whatever city you're in, because now it's going to trickle. People forget that numbers, good news travels, and bad news travels either, right? But if I'm a DJ and I see that every time I play this record, all 30 people go crazy. Yeah. And they're doing this every night. By night 5, that 30 people is now 50 people. Yeah. And that 50 is now 100 people. So in 2 months, now the whole club knows your record. The problem is most artists, they're not going to put in that hard work. But I got to go to the club quick 5 nights a week for 2 months. I'm not going. I got to give it. Okay, but I gave you a proven formula. Right. Now, if you would tell me I don't have time, I don't have the money, I can't be doing this, and okay, now don't complain to me. I gave you a proven formula that I know, and I've seen it work for artists. But a lot of artists, they don't want to put that time in. I want to come out and be hot, and people love me tomorrow, and if they don't, they hate us.
That's right. Last question before I let you go. I love your vitamins of the day, and if you could just close out with a Live with Lysious special vitamins of the day for anyone watching, listening, tuning in right now, what would you leave us with tonight?
So I don't know if you know, my vitamins all come off the top of my head. I've never wrote a vitamin down in my life. Wow. Things I think about or things I've helped people with over the years or that day. But I'll kind of reiterate what my vitamin was earlier. In case anybody missed it on the radio, my vitamin was earlier that a lot of us, we pray for change and growth, and we pray for it and we work for it. And we say, one day I'm going to grow. But when you grow, you realize things are going to become challenging and things become difficult. And most of us, we want that growth. We want that success. But the second we're challenged, we become timid and we back away. The second things become challenging or different, we say it's not for me. You want things to be easy all the time, you're never going to grow. Period. It's like working out in the gym. If you work out and do the exact same exercise every day, you're never going to get any muscles. Now, the second you try something different, it's going to be uncomfortable. You like it. Some of us be like, I don't like this machine. It's uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. You just don't know what you're doing yet. That's how life works. Every time you try to level up, it's going to be a level of uncomfortability where you're not going to be uncomfortable. I'm sorry, it's going to be a level where you're not comfortable. Yeah. Level up in life, it's going to be a level where you're not comfortable. It's going to be a level where it's challenging. It's going to be a level where it's difficult. It's going to be a level where people don't like something that you're doing. It's up to you to keep going on those levels, because if you do not, you're never going to grow where you think you deserve to be. So I want to tell anybody that's watching this, if you're in that phase in your life where things are challenging or things are uncomfortable or things are different, just realize you're growing. If we're not growing, it would be nothing in your life that's uncomfortable or challenging. It'd be easy. They say easy like Sunday morning. That person who has an easy life, they have a complacent life. Now, in order to grow, you have to be willing to become uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be challenged. And if you're not ready for those things, maybe you're not ready to grow yet. But if you're going through that phase in your life, it's not by accident. It's just that your time is now, and you're in the now right now and don't even realize it.
That's amazing. Amen to that. Amen to that. Listen, I could talk to you from now till tomorrow.
Buddy, I appreciate it though, Lish.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show, and a huge thanks to everyone that tuned in. There's so many comments, so many likes. A lot of you saying hi, hey. I see all of you, even though I'm not able to respond to each and every one of you. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next week we're gonna have another amazing guest. We wanted to open season 2 with a bang, and I figured I need to bring someone that really embodies the essence of the show, and he definitely did speak to a lot of you guys tonight. I hope you took something out of it. Once again, thank you so much, and my love and regards to your wife and the kids.
Thank you, my brother. And everybody, make sure y'all check me out every day. Let me plug everything that I got going on.
Yes, please, please.
But of course, I'm on the radio still daily. Shout out to Dominic D, my co-host. QuickSilva show. We're now syndicated. We're heard in 10 cities now.
That's amazing.
The goal is to be in 30, hopefully by the end of the summer. But if 3 to 7 every day, QuickSilvaShow.com, the QuickSilva Show. Shout out to everybody. My DJ school Q&A. I'm Quick and Easy DJs.
Yeah.
My wrestling league, C3W Wrestling. My nightclub, Downtown Scandal in Baltimore. What else I have going on? 295 Entertainment, which is my marketing bridge to bridge artists and labels together. That's doing amazing. Shout out to Roddy Rax. We just got him signed with Def Jam. Shout out to all my endorsements from Puma to DTLR to Indigo to Remy Martin to Attorney Big Al.
I remember that.
It's that I actually just shot a TV commercial for him yesterday. It's gonna be on air. I actually, I'm gonna give you an exclusive right now.
Okay, exclusive, live Lysious exclusive. All right.
I haven't told anybody. I'm gonna post about it tomorrow. For the first time in my career, like I said, I've done everything that I can think of. But for the first time in my career, I'm gonna be on CNN tomorrow.
That's dope.
I'm on CNN tomorrow. I'll get the exact time in the morning. It's gonna be between 2 and 4 p.m. But I'm doing a segment on there. We're talking about just you know a lot of people with the vaccine and coronavirus,
yeah.
And a lot of us in the Black and brown community are still hesitant about the vaccine and why. So I'm doing a segment on that tomorrow. It'll be live on CNN, and I'm really excited to be on CNN tomorrow.
Y'all heard it here first. You never know what you're gonna have in this show.
Anybody say yet, but now everybody who's on this, y'all can put the word out. Yo, Quick will be on CNN tomorrow.
Right.
That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I got
Congrats on everything
going on, man. But like I said, I don't have time to plug everything. But you just go to my Instagram page.
I was about to say, if you ain't hip, like just
or Google QuickSilva, you'll see
right.
everything that I got going on. I got bookers literally all over the country over the next few months. So
right.
I got a busy schedule, but I'm blessed, man.
Thank you so much. We love to see it, and we love to see you win. And I will definitely keep in touch. Thank you so much. No problem. All right. Take it easy. Bye.